Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining you the problem villages. So it was asked in Codeforces Round 1044 for Division 2. Let's read out the problem. Steve lives in a village with other villagers. Unfortunately, due to disputes over the distribution of emeralds, none of those villagers are friends with any other villagers. Furthermore, villager I initially has grumpiness of GI. Steve can perform the following operation any number of times. Select two villages I and j and give them maximum of g of I comma g of j emeralds to share. Both of their grumpiness decreases by minimum of g of I comma g of j and they become friends with each other if they weren't already. Okay. Steve wishes to make every village's friends with every other villages, possibly through some intermediate friendships. That is, from any villages you can follow a path of relationships to reach any other villages. Since he does not want to inflate the village's economy too much, calculate the minimum number of emeralds he must give away to accomplish this. So okay, so it was a lengthy problem, so don't worry, I'll be telling you. So let's Devgan, for example, let's take first example. So actually what they're saying is, in the first example there are two villages and they have 1 comma 2 emeralds. Okay, so these are villages. Let me sorry, these are grumpiness, they have 1 comma 2. So what they're saying is, all these villages are not friendship to each other. So what was his name? So Steve wants to basically make sure that all these villages are friends to each other. So in order to make that, what he'll be doing is, let's say he choose I comma j and he will be giving the emeralds and he will be giving max of g of I comma g of j. This much emeralds he'll be giving uh, to these two, I mean I and j villages, and they'll become friend, and their grumpiness, whatever this value is there, will be decreased by minimum of g of I comma g of j, that they're saying. So in order to make all the villagers friendship, basically um, like in this case we have only two villages, so both will be made friendship to each other. Let's say there are 1 2 3 4 friends, right? So if there are these villages and he wants to make let's say he'll choose ij and ij in this case. So if he choose these two, so these two will be friends. But if you see, these two are friend and these 3 comma 4, these two are friend. But if you see, this group and this group are not friend to each other, right? So this is a separate group of friendship, this is a separate group of friendship. So in order to make sure that these two groups are also friends to each other, so again in that case you will be making somehow friendship of this. So I'll be telling you how you will be making that. So that's the problem statement. So in this case, if you see, you have only two, so it is very simple. So how many emeralds will be giving? Let's say you have chosen ij, so maximum of 1 comma 2. So he will be giving 2 emeralds, and after doing this, its emeralds will be decreased by minimum of 1 comma 2, which is 1. So now the value will be 0 comma 1. This g, whatever array is there, this will be 0 comma 1. Why? As told in the question, its emeralds or grumpiness value, whatever is there, this value will be decreased by 1. So in this case there is only one possibility, and these two are friends. And how many emeralds, what is his name, man? Steve has given, he has given 2 emeralds, so minimum of this much he will be spending. So in this case your answer is 2. So in the first case our answer is 2. Let's try to take this example 2152. You have ns4 2152 you have. So now this one is interesting. So let's say if you choose these two, now if you choose these two, so how many Steve, how many emeralds he is spending? Maximum of these two is 5, so 5 he will be spending, and minimum of these two is 1, so its emerald will be decreased by, now your G value will be, since this is not played, so he'll be here only, so it will be decreased by 1, so you have 0 here, and this is 4, and these two are friend right now, and this is 2. Now you want to make these two friendships, right? So if you want to make these two, so again, now maximum of this is 2, so Steve initially had 5 emeralds given, now one more 2 is given, so total of 5 plus 2, 7 emeralds have given, and minimum of these two is 2, so now their emeralds value will be decreased by 2, so it is 0, this is 0, 4, and this is also 0. Now these two are friend and these two are friend. Now if you try to see, like this is a separate group and this is a separate group. Now if you want to connect them, so what you will be doing is, you will be taking, let's say, these two, right? And since both are 0, so he'll be spending 0, maximum of 0, 0 is 0, so he'll be spending 0 emeralds, and 0 will be subtracted after this, so your answer again remains 0, 0, 4, 0 only, and now all are friendship, all are connected, right? So in this case your answer is 7. So this one I've solved it a simple way, I mean I've taken randomly, but this is a sorting problem. Why this is a sorting problem? Let me take one more example and tell you. Let's take 6 example. This is interesting. 3 1 4 1 5 9. 3 1 4 1 5 9 you have, and n is 6 obviously because you have 6 villages. So now if you take randomly, so your answer will be maximum. Let's take let me take 4 and 9. So how many emeralds will spending? 9, because maximum of these two is 9, and now your G value will be, since minimum of these two is 4, so it is 0, 1, 5, and 9 minus 4 is 5. So and these two are friends right now. Now let's take let me take this and this. So if you take this and this, so how many emeralds he is spending? He is spending 3 emeralds, and after this your emerald value will be, a minimum of these two will be subtracted, so it is 2, this is 0, this is 0, 1, 5, 5, right? And these two were friends, and now these two are friends. Now I'll be taking 1 and 5, so again 5 he'll be spending. So if you see, it is 8 plus 9, 17 emeralds he'll be spending, which is not the answer. Minimum you will be spending, and among these two minimum is 1, so now your G value will be 2, 0, 0, 0, 4, 5. So these two are friends, and these two are friends, and these two are friends, right? So now in order to make friend to each other, this is one of the group, like 2, 0 is one of the group, 0, 4 is other group, and 0, 5 is other group. So in order to make, let's say, these two groups similar, so obviously you will be taking 0, 0. So from here 0 you will be taking this one. So now, as I showed in the previous example, he will be spending 0 emeralds, and he will be subtracting 0 emeralds, but this group 2, 0 and 0, 5, they will be knowing each other, they will be friends to each other, and at the end, since all these fours, I mean these 3 and this know each other, and this is separate. So in order to make these again friends, we will be taking, let's say, this and this 0. So I think you got it, but 17 is not the optimal one. Let me try to sort the array and tell you. So if you sort the array, your it will be 1 1 3 4 5 9, right? So now here comes the twist. Since you'll have to make friendships, and you want the minimum value, so if you take minimum and maximum value, let's say, so in that case you'll be spending maximum, and when you make again minimum, maximum, second highest and second lowest, again you'll be spending 9 plus 5 you'll be spending, right? So, and if you take this 2, again spending whatever emerald you're spending, that will be the third highest. So basically if you take highest and lowest, you are basically, what you're doing, um, basically in this case you are taking the rightmost elements you're taking, and which are, in sorting it is the highest one. So since you're as you saw in the questions, only while making two friendships you will be spending emeralds, only while making two friendships. Once you made them friendship, since you will be subtracting the lowest one, so you will have zero value, at this point and this point also. So within these groups making friend is easier because zero values you have, so in that case zero emeralds you will be spending. So now the question is, if you make these two pairs and these two pairs, now the emeralds total spending is 9, and since this is minimum you will not be spending, and now since these are friends, now you will moving to this group, this INJ pair. So now in this case maximum is 4, this will be spending, and here if you move you will be spending 1. So if you see you are spending only 14 emeralds, but in the previous case you saw 17 emeralds are spending. And if you try to make the friendship what I've said, like highest and lowest, so in this case you will be spending 9, this is 4 plus 9 is 9 and 9, so 18 emeralds will be spending, which is again highest. So you saw that making pairs of this type will be, after sorting you take two elements, and whichever the highest element is, that if you add you will get the emeralds. But here is one more catch. Like, let's say you have 1 1 3 4 5 9 and 10. Okay, so now the elements are odd in this case, that I'm trying to show. Here you have 6 elements, that is okay. Here you have 7 elements. Now there are two possibilities of making pairs. One is this possibility you have got, and last one will be remaining. So whenever, let's say, you made friendship, right? So in this case minimum is 1 only, and you have spent 1 emerald, so this value will be 0 comma 0, right? And in this case you will be spending 4, and the minimum is 3, so 3 you will be subtracting, so 1 you will be getting. In this case maximum is 9, 9 you will be spending, and minimum is 5, so 5 you will be subtracting, so it is 4, and you have 10 at the end. So now these two are friends, right? These two are friends. So now even if you do any operation in order to make these three as friends, in this case you will be spending 0 emeralds, because if you want to connect these two you will be spending 0 emeralds. If you want to, once you have made this, now you want to make this group friendship with this one, so let's take 0 and this 0, you will be spending 0 again emeralds. But since these 6 all are connected, now you want to connect with this 10. So in order to connect with this, even if you take the 0th one with the 10th one, so you will be spending 10 emeralds, and all will be basically friend. And if you see how many emeralds you have spent, it is like 10, 20, 24 you have spent. So this one was one of the possibility. Let me take other possibility. 1 1 3 4 5 9 and 10, this one you have. Now if you want to make the pair from right side, this one, so if you see in this case, since you are making like last element here, you were like definitely taking for the emerald, like the Steve will be spending. So in order to reduce that, I'll be taking from the last. So the here will be spending 10 emeralds, here will be spending 5, here will be spending 3, and here will be spending only 1. So if you add now this will be 19. So obviously 19 is lesser than 24. So the main, it is a greedy problem only. Once you sort the element, you will have to make the pair from the right hand side, and whichever has highest element among this you will be taking. So this has highest, this is highest, this one is highest, and this one. So two pairs will be basically taking INJ pairs in order to make them friends. So I think you guys got to know how you solve this problem. So let me try to code it up. So I'll be removing this. Sorry, this was first one. So what they've given us, they'll give you number of emeralds, and let me take one vector. I'll be taking of long type. I have defined here as LL is long. Why I'm taking long because the emeralds will go to 10 power 9, and there are 2 into 10 power 5 such emeralds. So if you multiply, it will be 10 power 14. So when you are adding into the answer, right, so 10 power 14 is not acceptable integer, that's why I'm taking. I'll be taking one and temporary, because one by one I'll be taking the values, emerald values, and I'll be putting into this G. Once I put this, as I said, I need to sort them, right? Once I've sorted them, as I said, I'll be taking one I index, which is basically pointing to the last index, and I'll be taking answer long type again. I'll be running if it is greater than equals to 0, right? From the back I'm coming, so I'll be basically adding into the answer whatever value I have, and I'll decrease I by 2, because when you are making pair, so maximum is the rightmost, and again 2 if you decrease, you'll be going to the I minus 2, I minus third pair. So, and at the end when you come out of the loop, you'll have to print this answer, and this will take care of odd and even length strings, I mean vectors. So it got passed. Let me try to submit it. This is B question, and it is villages. Actually it got submitted, but let me try to submit once again. So it is running on test 1, running on test 2, so it will be getting accepted because I have solved in the contest. So I think you guys got no problem. So basically it was a sorting and then greedy. So yeah, it got accepted. So if you try to analyze the space time space complexity, since you're sorting, it is n log n, and the space you're taking, this is for storing the vectors, so you're not taking any extra space basically. So space complexity is constant. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.